Yes, everyone on the planet can have good permanent job, and amazingly enough, it can be done in less than a year. The icing on the cake is that it will also eliminate poverty and inflation. Watch to learn about economic democracy, where a good job is a right, not a privilege. We will begin with understanding capitalism and its need for profit, which is root cause of unemployment, debt, and inflation. This system can be divided into two key players: the capitalist, whose motivation is profit and have zero obligation to hire anyone. In fact, they benefit from unemployment. Then we have the remaining society, with people who need a job. A capitalist hires the least amount of people from society to lower cost, pays them lowest amount of income possible, again to lower cost. Then in order to make profit, capitalist takes revenue from the same society, who needs to spend more than their income, so that revenue can be higher than cost. This is the only way a capitalist can make profit. If all the companies in a country altogether pay 100 billion as income to society, then they need to take back 150 billion as revenue to be profitable. How can a society that earns less afford to spend more? The answer is debt. Many need to take debt like house loan, car loan, education loan, medical loan, yada yada. But many are unemployed or low-income earners and cannot get loans. The government has to step in with safety nets and fund such programs with debt. Then, to fund its spending, the government prints money, causing inflation. As the capitalist profit and wealth increases, the society and government get buried in debt. If capitalist makes 50 billion in net profit, the society and government in total need to take 50 billion in debt. This is happening in almost all countries in the world today. The US has 36.2 trillion in debt, China has 14.2 trillion, Japan has 8.2 trillion, India has 3.4 trillion, France, UK, and Germany 9.7 trillion combined, and Brazil another 1.7 trillion. The world has staggering $310 trillion worth of total debt. Here are key takeaways of capitalism. It has zero obligation towards employment and hires least amount of people, causing persistent unemployment. It pays lowest income possible, causing poverty. It requires debt by government and society in order for companies to make profit, causing chronic debt. And finally, it causes governments to print money to pay their debt, causing persistent inflation. Now let's talk about the solution. A new economic engine called economic democracy, where a good permanent job is right, not a struggle. The fundamental difference between capitalism and economic democracy is that in capitalism, it always hires the least amount of people, whereas in economic democracy, there is always 100% employment, with everyone having good, permanent jobs. It is shockingly easy. Create it, implement in any country today, and will permanently all deck downly unemployment, poverty, long-term debt, and inflation. It will unleash an era of universal prosperity, low crime, reduced work week, high degree of automation with robotics and artificial intelligence, and increase human longevity. Human society will never have to worry about unemployment. And economic democracy has three key pillars: employment for all, digital currency, and government support. First pillar is pillar of employment for all. For any given society, a mechanism is needed that creates the number of jobs its citizens need. This is accomplished by creating special cooperatives. This is the first secret sauce. They are special because they have an obligation to hire anyone looking for a job. In a cooperative, each worker is also an owner, so it provides a permanent job and owner motivation. Cooperatives give fair living wage to everyone and distribute the surplus based on productivity. They also provide healthcare and continuous job-based training to increase productivity. Cooperatives collaborate and support other cooperatives. Cooperatives take responsibility for 80% employment. Many people want to run their own businesses, and therefore small businesses provide 10% employment and final 10% is employed by government. The second pillar is digital currency. This is the second secret sauce that makes economic democracy sustainable and easy to implement worldwide and in short duration. Digital currency cannot be converted to paper money. People earn and spend via digital currency and use it phones, debit card, and computers. This enables rotation of capital by ensuring money can be earned and spent in stipulated durations. Savings are permitted, but in pre-approved amounts. As an example, any country can start with 3 months of stipulated spend duration and adjust it later. The rotation of the capital ensures economy has enough money each month to pay everyone proper income. Government only needs to fund 4 months of salary, that too, only through computers, which requires very little effort. Third pillar is government support, which implements legislation, simplifies and replaces all taxes with simple sales tax that supports government expenses, retirement income for all, and safety nets for disasters, etc. It provides initial funding via digital currency, enables balanced trading with other nations and internal capitalist entities, and finally provides oversight by restructuring failing cooperatives with successful cooperatives. Let's understand economy democracy via 2 phases, the setup phase and the operation phase. Setup phase. The government starts multiple special cooperatives, and these cooperatives have an obligation to hire anyone seeking a job, provide a living wage, plus productivity-based surplus income. They also provide healthcare and job-oriented training to enhance productivity. Family-owned businesses can voluntarily participate. Cooperatives pay the members via digital currency. The system requires a fixed spend duration. For example, everyone might be required to spend their income in 3 months after earning it. Good jobs give everyone purchasing power. When they purchase, it creates demand for goods and services. Demand for goods and services creates demand for jobs. This ensures permanent and sustainable balance between demand and supply. The cooperatives are funded by a one-time government investment. In this case, one-time government investment equals 4 months' income of the workers. Workers have to spend their income in 3 months and are allowed limited savings. You can take the GDP of any country and divide by 3 to determine the 4-month funding required. The operation phase can be compared to a treadmill. Cooperatives compete and produce goods and services and provide income to society. The top belt of the treadmill can be thought of as money coming from cooperatives and going to society as income. The bottom belt is where the money goes from spend of society back to the cooperatives. The belt is the digital money, ensuring all money rotates. The one-time investment from the government allows the cooperatives to be able to pay income as society. The digital currency and limited duration to spend ensures members of society spend their money, which goes back to the cooperatives, allowing smooth rotation of capital and forms a self-sustaining balanced economic cycle. Failing cooperatives, which are unable to make enough income, are restructured and/or absorbed by successful cooperatives, ensuring no one is left behind. All forms of taxes are abolished except sales tax. Government gets sales tax, which is used to recoup its original investment, pay government employees, retirement income for all citizens, and any residual safety nets for things like disasters, etc. They also have to spend the money in same 3-month cycle. Government money printing comes to an end, and therefore inflation comes to an end. Whole system is designed around full utilization of human potential, rotation of capital, and is self-sustaining and balanced. Trade with neighbors is reciprocal and balanced, ensuring the capital of economic democracy is preserved. Here is a recap of economic democracy special cooperatives with obligation to hire all looking for a job are started. These leads to 100% employment. They get at least living wage plus surplus income based on productivity. They also get job-based education and healthcare. It only requires one-time funding from government equaling the salary and savings, and is returned via portion of sales tax. The secret sauce is digital currency, which enables rotation of capital. Finally, all taxes are replaced by sales tax, which government uses to fund its employees, original investment, pension for all citizens, and residual safety nets. No more long-term debt, no money printing, thereby no more inflation. Automation and innovation leads to reduced work week, rather than reduced workforce or unemployment. Automation and research is highly encouraged. People are motivated and happy. Some may ask if this is socialism or communism. It is not. This picture shows the fundamental difference. If society has 40 hours of work available and available labor was 80 hours by 2 people, the distribution of work is as follows. In capitalism, the jungle law is of winner takes all happens, and one person works full 40 hours and other goes unemployed. In socialism, one person is fully employed and one is unemployed, so government has to step in, take debt, and support the unemployed. In communism, there is no motivation, so each worker works 15 hours, sending the society into poverty and government providing safety nets. In economic democracy, each person gets at least 15 hours of work, enough to earn fair living wage, and then the more motivated person can work 25 hours. There is never unemployment or poverty and never need for government safety net. There is rational distribution of work. Here is the implementation plan. Phase 1 is focused on people. People need to become aware and understand. Then people have to be united. Join Facebook group. Share with friends to increase support of this new economic model that gives you good permanent job. Phase 2 is based on political support. Politicians needs votes and will only listen if large number of people are asking for it. We need support from left and right. Everyone needs a good paying, permanent job. Political support will lead to legislation to implement economic democracy. Phase 3 is to execute the engine of economic democracy. Digital currency has to be created, special cooperatives have to be created, and then everyone gets good, permanent job. Then the system is operated and adjusted. Finally, if you want change, then you have to become the change. Join us. Politicians listen to numbers. We need numbers. We need you. Facebook is our platform of choice to unite. Scan the QR code to join, or go to Facebook and search for Economic Democracy. Good permanent jobs for all. Join it. You can also find the Facebook link at www.goodjobsforall.net. Let's start the revolution. Let's banish unemployment, debt, poverty, and inflation. Let's usher a new age of prosperous human society.